I love that you brought up briefly the word perfection.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who dedicated most of their youth into creating an image, a physical image of perfection.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard not to get lost in that, especially from the weight of perfection, right? Yet you're here even 10, 15 years later, not consumed by that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you feel helped you maneuver that path and make it so you didn't fall into that? Because it's such an easy thing.
Yeah, the desire to chase some ideal of perfection and then to perhaps judge yourself as shortcomings or others based on this kind of ideal. Well, again, I think the real answer is, especially because I did competitive bodybuilding probably from the time I was about 18, 19 to when I was about 25. And so 7 years, but also like I competed around average of 2 to 5 times per year. So I did a phenomenal number of bodybuilding shows and was obsessed, but I was really obsessed with it for decades. And it's an interesting, I did chase ideals and with the physical body. And I think part of it that helped is, one, I think in some way, the desire for an ideal is not a completely like pathological, it's not like there's not like a bad thing. There's an innate aspect of us that knows that we can improve and has some kind of desire to move into this area. It's when the ego creates this, this image of what that is, an attachment, that there is suffering. And I think, again, it comes back to, in my understanding experience, like when we suffer from bringing in the experience of self-judgment in that gap of whatever that perfection is, that's a course-correcting mechanism in our awareness. Like it's like the suffering is a way back to your heart of relaxation and love. Yet, what I'll say this is, like, we help so many of our clients who are far from wanting to create physical perfection, but they've gotten to a place where they've lost connection with the body or just feel like they don't care. I'm 50, I'm 80 pounds overweight, I'm on medications, I'm on the back out. Like, these people almost every single time, and I would probably say every single time, experience a spiritual awakening as they get their bodies healthier, because it seems to me that our bodies are meant to be flourishing in a certain degree of energy, health, well-being, and at least to the point where we feel aligned and comfortable in our own bodies, that we don't feel like there's some kind of, like, have a sense of a deficit or a desire to do more. Like, there's congruence in the physical body and like what the mental, emotional being of someone feels that they want to create and manifest. And so bringing people into this center point, a thing that helped me too is realizing that, man, on the physical perfection bodies thing, there's always someone with a better body. Like, and it was, for me as a bodybuilder, like losing shows, winning shows, whatever, like that was helpful. But I mean, another profound experience on the physical domain was getting in that, when we were living together, getting in that terrible ski accident. I almost like lost my leg, man. I exploded it into pieces, hitting a tree at about 40 miles per hour, right? 5 surgeries on the leg, crazy. That experience of kind of breaking down the body awoke me to, expanded my consciousness beyond, merely the attachment to body consciousness. But like, is this not the experience of the human experience, that many of us, as we're growing up, we start to crystallize into more body consciousness. We get interested in sexual partners, or we care about how we have this instinct to care about how we look and how others look, and then we play that thing out through expression, and then we settle into however all those energies help us expand, either keep us in suffering or we move into more love. Part of it, I suppose, is ultimately loving what is in your life, like be creating and not in the practice of not resisting whatever is in your life. All the spiritual work is just manifested on all the different planes, whether it's the physical, very body plane, or the mental, emotional planes, etc. Yeah.
I like that. And part of scale is simplicity.
Yeah.
It's really hard to scale complexity.
Yeah.
And so when we can really view things from that simple approach that you're just talking about, and that's why I feel like authenticity is such a great fundamental core for us to pull simplicity from.
Yeah.
Because, the idea of perfection, what if you were to say, hey, Austin, what does perfection look like?
Yeah.
And I'll say, hey, Anthony, what does perfection look like to you? We'd have different answers.
Yeah. Which
is odd, considering perfection is supposed to be the pinnacle. You'd think, wouldn't that be the same?
Yeah.
And so this is where that misunderstanding of perfection causes such a, keeps us feeling like we have that weight on top of us, and it's like debilitating, and it's because we're attempting to reach something that doesn't actually exist because it's too fluid.
Yeah.
Where authenticity is concrete.
Yeah.
And it is something that is no longer outside of ourselves. It's actually deep within.
Yeah. Well, how about we posit this, right? I mean, agreed, 100%. The idea of perfection is an external ideal.
Yeah.
Like, is it not perfect to be expressing you, like exactly as you are? But like, is this whole experience not perfect in the sense that it's every now moment is the exact combination of the isness that is leading us forward to expansion, choice, everything. Like even the things that we create that seem to bring us suffering or pain, or the things that we feel like we didn't even create that are entering into our lives, are all weaving this perfect tapestry of our unfoldment. Like it's all our unique unfoldment. So you could say by that thing that the only thing that's perfect, there's no external ideal that this is perfect circumscribed. Everything is perfect in that sense. Like, and this is truly the perspective that I have, like that every moment is perfect for all of us, kind of in spite of what's happening, because it's the expression of exactly what is, and that's leading us into an experience that will lead us into more experience, into our exact unfoldment. And certain paths have more intensity, certain have more sweetness, certain have more sadness, but it's like that's the unique fingerprint that's happening in this exact conscious being's expression. And we can look at these truths from many different relative planes. But yeah, I agree. In many ways, I say that like authentic, your true authentic expression is perfection. It's not a destination. It's like a way of, it's just being.
Right. It's a process, not a result.
It's a process, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then I think the idea of perfection, if anything, this does seem really true to me. It's like if your awareness is the consciousness itself is like this temple of illumination. It's all experience, and at our core of our beings, if we feel that there are still things to be healed or to be done, it's the experiences we had. It's something that comes up as desire, or desire for forward movement, or desire for forgiveness, or desire for healing, like whatever those things are. Doing more of that, like the bringing forth of what that is a part of perfection. I think it's like almost like the seeds of our experience that we have and we're bringing forth here are the seeds of our perfection, because we're creating it, and it's like it's exactly on our path.
Yeah, like the opportunity for infinite expansion is the perfection.
Yeah, but I also think but there's stuff that's uniquely signature fingerprinted to you versus me.
Yeah,
based on all the creation you've done in the past, all the things that have aligned where this cosmos was at when you were born, like, or incarnated here, you know what I mean? Like all that. Yeah, and it's all, imagine this, and all that's happening, and it's all like infinite, intelligent, loving energy, like creating this entire experience with us as beings all happening. Like, it's absolutely amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
What else is there?